Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB. The lineup has been released for PSG against Barcelona live from the Parc des Princes in exactly 1 hour's time. It's a very, very big match. Both sides coming into the game with confidence in terms of they think they can win the game. PSG have been brilliant in their league. Barcelona unstoppable, still haven't conceded a goal, and it's going to be a great game. Here we have the Barcelona lineup, and there's a lot of things we can learn from this. That's why I've done this podcast. I'm going to talk about the lineup, what I think of it, and this is actually the lineup which I said on Twitter beforehand. I hope this is the lineup and it's exactly as I would have planned it out. So there's a lot of things we can learn from this. Number one starts with the goalkeeper. Marc-Andre ter Stegen makes another appearance, this time in the Champions League, as he did a few weeks ago against Apoel Nicosia. And there we go. We can assume now that ter Stegen will play Champions League matches. We don't know who's going to play the Copa del Rey yet, but that could be ter Stegen, possibly Masip in some places. And Claudio Bravo will play the league matches as long as he keeps on form. So we know ter Stegen is going to be involved in Champions League. Tonight's a very, very big test for him. You know, it's a big game, a lot of pressure on him tonight, and I've got very much confidence in him that he'll certainly step up. Jordi Alba and Dani Alves fullbacks. This just shows that Jordi Alba, we know every single week if he can be left back and he is available, he will be playing. And Dani Alves, this shows that he is still the number one right back. You know, Montoya and Douglas have both been used by Luis Enrique, but clearly being used at Granada at the weekend and also in this game from the start, it's quite clear that Luis Enrique thinks that Dani Alves is the best right back at the club, and I completely agree with him. Centre-back pairing. Now, this is the very, very interesting part. This is a big thing we've learned tonight, that Mathieu and Mascherano at centre-back, at the moment, on current form, are Luis Enrique's favoured pairing. We've seen a lot of different centre-backs in the last few weeks. We've seen Bartra and Piqué. We've seen Vermaelen get the green light as well. Tonight, Mathieu and Mascherano start at centre-back, and it's quite clear that Luis Enrique thinks those two together are the best combination for the big games on current form. Gerard Piqué apparently isn't doing enough in training. He's not being convincing enough when he plays, and at the moment, I would agree with him that Mathieu is an outstanding player, a really good signing it looks like, and Mascherano as well has shown the form at centre-back which he did a few years ago. Last season was a poor season at centre-back for him where he got exposed a few times, but the season before that when he's at centre-back he's very, very good, so it's good to see that side of him back again. Defensive midfield, Sergio Busquets. There's a few rumours going around that maybe we play with a double pivot tonight with two defensive midfielders, Mascherano and Busquets. That hasn't happened. Of course, Luis Enrique could tinker around with the tactics during the match. You could push Mascherano up and bring on another centre-back, but it seems unlikely. Luis Enrique is going to go with what's been so successful for him so far, which is the sort of 4-3-3 formation, but with narrow forwards. So in midfield, we've got Ivan Rakitic and Andres Iniesta. What can you say about Rakitic at the moment? Unbelievable. I saw something on the internet the other day, the most complete midfielder in the world this guy could become, and I thought about it, and you know, you look at it and you think, you know, he can. He's got a platform now, he's got something to build on, he's a player at a big club with great players around him. Ivan Rakitic has all the attributes and all the characteristics to become a really world-class, unbelievable player, and I think as long as he gets the right attitude and as long as he keeps performing on the consistent level he has been, there's no limit to this man, because he's really some player. Iniesta's back in. He didn't play at all against Granada, so he'll be nice and fresh. There was a few rumours that Xavi would start, but Iniesta's come in, and Xavi played outstandingly against Granada, but after playing the full 90 minutes, it's unlikely he'd start tonight, and we may see him come off the subs bench, of course, in a big game, you know, close out the final 20 minutes. He can control things, he can dictate the tempo, so we may see him later on, but Iniesta and Rakitic start. Messi, Neymar and Pedro is the front three. The front three that I said Luis Enrique should go with, and the reason I'm saying that is because they're all experienced. You know, Neymar in the Champions League, he's only had one season of it, but he's always looked very good in the Champions League. He's got a hat-trick against Ajax, he scored against Atletico Madrid. He's always looked very comfortable on the European stage. Lionel Messi, of course, is an outstanding goal scorer, whatever game it is. And Pedro does play well, you know, in the big games. In the big pressure games, he does his job well, he closes down, he puts in a good shift. He's a very, very hard worker, and no matter what he does in a game, he's always going to track back, he's always going to press, and that's exactly what Luis Enrique is looking for. So again, we may see the likes of Sandro and Munir come off the bench, much, but the front three that starts is the established front three of Neymar, Messi and Pedro, and I completely agree with it. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of subs Enrique uses. It's going to be interesting to see how PSG come about the game, because they've said they won't park the bus, but we'll wait and see about that, because the teams always seem to say that before they go out against us, and then 10 minutes in they've got 11 men behind the ball. So we're going to wait and see what PSG do. They've got good players, they're a good side, so I'd be really disappointed if they park the bus today, but we'll have to wait and see. So enjoy the game, guys. I'll be here straight after it with performance analysis reviews. Enjoy the match, and we're going to hope for a win, and I'm very confident we'll get it. So see you very soon. Visca del Barça.